My wonderful honey.
Yes, sweet baby.
Many people when they start their relationships
Yes.
and sometimes before they get married, there's a
Mm-hmm.
struggle.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't have money, they don't have much to start with.
Mm-hmm.
All they say is that love is enough for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you find many, maybe a few years, even 10, 20 years after marriage,
Mm-hmm.
now they're doing well
Mm-hmm.
and their needs evolve,
Mm-hmm.
they change, they grow,
Mm-hmm.
and they could feel very discontent with the person that they married
Mm-hmm.
because they feel now they have choices.
Mm-hmm.
What is the answer for a couple like that? Because it happens to both men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting one. In my counseling experiences,
Mm.
I have encountered so many of such examples.
Mm.
Yeah. In fact, in instances where sometimes people say we divorced because of irreconcilable differences or because we're just not seeing eye to eye, we just drifted apart and stuff like that.
Mm.
That's usually the reason.
Mm.
They started hungry, they are no longer hungry. They started without influence, now they're influential. They started when nobody admired them except that spouse. Now everyone admires them. Like if you get into politics, for
Yeah.
example, or if you're a great superstar, for example, you start with your wife or your husband, you're in this band and nobody comes to your concert. Then after some time, the whole world wants a piece of you.
Yeah.
And you're still with this little girl, you see. Now, let's just break it down for people to understand. When you start broke or when you start without sufficient amount of money, your sphere of influence is limited and your influence itself is also limited. You don't have a voice. Not many people listen to you. Not even your family members listen to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you stick with this spouse of yours and then you work. By the grace of God, you make some money for yourself and your sphere of influence expands. And then you start having a voice. The family members are listening because you have financial muscles now. Okay? The woman is dressing much better. She's meeting more people in the business excursions or whatever she does out there.
Yeah.
Maybe at her office. The MD, the managing director, is actually one of the people that she might find quite nice with leadership skills and stuff. And the same applies to men.
Yeah.
So this is what makes people start feeling discontent. They start thinking, I made a mistake. I chose the wrong person. Some actually say, I should have waited. That waiting is good, but you can't wait forever. You need to make a decision. If you want to get married, marry. Okay? So because of lack of training and because of lack of preparation for success, remember, if it's going to rain, prepare. Seal the leakages on your roof. Get umbrellas. Prepare. Now, when there's an avalanche of blessings, most people are destroyed by the blessing rather than blessed by it because they didn't prepare for it. So the money has come, prosperity is here, there is adequate food, you travel to different nations of the world, but you are not emotionally and relationally prepared for it.
Yeah.
This is the time you ought to be as close as possible with that woman or that man you started with. But sadly, that's not the case. People always split and go their separate ways. Yeah? They think, well, I don't like your accent anymore. I'm going to meet somebody, marry somebody who speaks in this way. You don't make me feel the way I want to feel. No, it's your money talking now. That nature of unfaithfulness or that nature of lack of fidelity and stickability was always with you. So money is telling you that now you can rebel because you have a voice. You've got to be trained to know how to handle abundance when it comes. That abundance is you being given greater authority and more tools to serve humanity, not to hurt humanity. Remember, your spouse is part of humanity. Okay? Don't go out there being so good to everybody, but so mean to your spouse. So if people were to just learn that with expanded spheres of influence or jurisdiction, you'll meet people who are better. In this world, there's always a person better than you. Always. But that does not mean that every time you find a better person, you dissolve your current marriage and marry that one. Which is why the Bible says, be content in such things as you have. Because he said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. The Bible also says, godliness with contentment is great gain. So we need to learn. We need to go to the school of contentment so that we get great gain,
Mm.
not loss.
Yeah.
We need to go to the school of being satisfied,
Mm.
being content in little things, so that big things don't move us.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
If a person becomes a politician, they just have a greater responsibility to serve.
Mm.
That's not reason or license to dissolve a relationship or mess up with a marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such great help. Be content in such things as you have.
Be content in your wife, be content in your husband, be content in your children. Do you know this affects kids too?
Uh-huh.
A parent or two parents say, father and mother say, our child is not so intelligent, doesn't do too well in school. And you can tell they're not too pleased with their child. They feel like they were shortchanged. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Because the most successful people on earth, ladies and gentlemen, are not always the most intelligent. In fact, some of the people with greatest provision in terms of finances and wealth are not that intelligent.
Yeah.
So your child could be one of those. So tread carefully when dealing with little babies. The Bible says they're angels, are always looking at the face of the Father.
Mm.
You may end up in trouble just because you despised your child, because they were not bringing you the A's, top grades. They're not in athletics. They're not bringing any certificates home and medals and trophies. They don't have to. Yeah.
Wow. So deep. We love you till next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.